There is a moment, a sliver of experience so fleeting and yet so profound that it halts the relentless march of perceived time. It arrives unannounced, a ghost of a memory where no memory should exist. You walk into a room for the very first time, yet every detail, from the slant of light through the window to the faint scent of old wood in the air, feels intimately familiar. A conversation unfolds with a stranger, and as the words leave their lips, you feel a startling certainty that you have heard them before, in this exact cadence, in this very place. This is the sensation of déjà vu, the already seen. For most, it is dismissed as quickly as it comes, a curious neurological hiccup, a misfiring of synapses, a brief confusion between short-term and long-term memory. It is categorized, labeled, and filed away as a minor and meaningless glitch in the otherwise orderly machine of human consciousness. But what if it is not a glitch? What if this phenomenon is not a sign of the brain's imperfection, but a signal of existence's perfect fluid design? We propose a far more expansive, more radical interpretation. If you experience déjà vu, your higher self has just edited your timeline. Imagine for a moment that your life is not a single, immutable road stretching from birth to death. Instead, envision it as a vast, flowing river of potential. This river has a main current, the path of least resistance, the most probable sequence of events. But it is also filled with countless other currents, eddies, and branching streams representing alternative choices, different outcomes, and parallel possibilities. You, in your daily awareness, are the vessel navigating this river, perceiving only the water immediately around you. You feel the forward pull of the current you are in, and you call this linear time. Yet, there exists a greater aspect of your own consciousness, a vantage point that is not confined to the boat. This is your higher self, the sum of your awareness that exists outside the linear flow. It is the part of you standing on the mountaintop, overlooking the entire river basin from its source to its delta. It can see where the main current leads into treacherous rapids, where a branching stream leads to a serene and sunlit lagoon, and where two separate streams might eventually merge. This higher self is not a separate entity dictating your fate. It is the ultimate expression of your own soul's wisdom, your truest navigator, the silent cartographer of your journey. It holds the map of your intentions, the blueprint of the lessons your soul came here to learn, and the joys it came to experience. From this elevated perspective, your higher self can see when your vessel is drifting toward an unnecessary hardship, a redundant lesson, or a path that deviates too far from your soul's core purpose. In an act of profound love and cosmic grace, it can intervene. It reaches down into the flow of time and subtly, almost imperceptibly, nudges your vessel from one current to another. It performs a delicate and seamless edit, shifting you from timeline A to the slightly altered, more aligned timeline B. You have been moved from a path of probable outcome to one of greater potential. The old script has been revised. The cosmic software has been patched. And what is the only perceptible evidence of this monumental metaphysical shift? A faint ripple in your consciousness, a momentary superimposition of two realities. The old timeline, now discarded, leaves behind a residual energetic echo, a faint fragrance of a memory that was almost formed. The new timeline, which you have just been seamlessly grafted into, feels strangely familiar because, from the perspective of your soul, it is the path you were always meant to be on. That feeling of, "I've been here before," is the signature of the divine edit. It is your mind catching a momentary glimpse of the celestial source code, recognizing the ghost of the reality that was just overwritten. Déjà vu, in this light, transforms from a meaningless anomaly into the most intimate of signposts. It is a loving whisper from your own divinity, a confirmation that you are being guided, protected, and perpetually aligned with your highest good. It is the universe's way of letting you know that the script of your life is not written in ink, but in light, and the author is, and always has been, you. To truly grasp the statement, if you experience déjà vu, your higher self has just edited your timeline. We must be willing to gently set aside our conventional understanding of reality and explore the foundational pillars upon which this cosmic truth rests. These are not concepts to be proven in a laboratory, but to be felt within the inner landscape of consciousness, recognized as echoes of a wisdom our souls have always known. The first and most crucial pillar is the reimagining of time itself. In our three-dimensional experience, we perceive time as a straight, unwavering arrow shot from the fixed bow of the past, flying through the fleeting moment of the present and landing in the unknown target of the future. It is a ruler by which we measure our lives, a relentless taskmaster that dictates decay and growth. But this is merely a perceptual habit, a functional illusion necessary for navigating the physical world. From a higher vantage point, time is not a line, but a landscape. Imagine standing on the ground in a dense forest. You can only see the path immediately behind you and the few feet ahead. This is our human perspective. Now, imagine ascending in a hot air balloon. As you rise, you see the entire forest at once, the winding paths, the clearings, the rivers, and the mountains. You can see where every path began and where it leads. This is the perspective of the higher self. From this view, past, present, and future exist simultaneously as a unified field of potential. Time is a vast, explorable terrain, and what we call the present is simply the focal point of our awareness within that terrain. This brings us to the second pillar, the true nature of the higher self. It is essential to release the image of an external, godlike figure manipulating our lives like a puppeteer. The higher self is not separate from you. It is you. It is the totality of your consciousness, the integrated wisdom of every experience you have ever had and will ever have, across all potential timelines and dimensions. It is the ocean, while your current personality and ego are a single, conscious wave upon its surface. The wave is not separate from the ocean. It is a momentary expression of the ocean's immense power and depth. This higher self operates from a state of pure, unconditional love and possesses an unerring understanding of your soul's grandest intentions. It is not concerned with the fleeting dramas of the ego, but with the deep, resonant lessons and the expansion of consciousness that your soul seeks. Its guidance, therefore, is not an act of control, but an act of profound, loving alignment, like a master musician subtly retuning an instrument so it can play its most beautiful and resonant chord. This leads directly to the third core concept, the delicate dance between destiny and free will. The idea of a timeline edit does not imply that our lives are fated. Instead, it illuminates a more sophisticated relationship between choice and probability. At every moment, our thoughts, emotions, and actions generate ripples of potential, opening up countless probable futures. We have absolute free will to navigate these currents. However, the higher self, seeing the entire map of probabilities, can discern which paths lead to the most resonant growth, joy, and fulfillment of our purpose. When it performs an edit, it isn't negating our free will. Rather, it is closing off a less optimal probabilistic pathway and gently guiding us onto a more harmonious one that we, on a soul level, have already chosen. It's like a GPS in a car. You are free to ignore its suggestions and turn down any street you wish, but the GPS, holding the satellite view, will continuously recalculate to offer you the most efficient and clear route to your chosen destination. Déjà vu is the moment you hear the system faintly say, rerouting, as it seamlessly places you on that better road. You retain full freedom to drive, but you are being offered the most graceful path forward. The choice to follow it, to embrace the new flow, always remains yours. This is a co-creative partnership, a sacred collaboration between the human self, navigating the immediate moment, and the divine self, holding the vision for the entire journey. To truly internalize these abstract concepts, It helps to clothe them in the language of metaphor and story, for the soul often understands the universe not through logic, but through allegory. Let us imagine the existence of a celestial weaver, an ancient, infinitely patient consciousness sitting before a loom of cosmic scale. The threads upon this loom are spun from light and potential, and each individual thread represents a soul's journey through time. Your life is one such thread, shimmering with the unique colors of your experiences, joys, and sorrows. The weaver, who is in essence your own higher self, works with loving intention, weaving your thread into a vast, interconnected tapestry of existence. It sees the grand pattern, understanding how your thread intertwines with countless others, creating intricate pictures of love, learning, and connection. Most of the time, the weaving is smooth, the thread unspooling in a vibrant, strong line. But sometimes, the weaver sees that your thread is heading toward a knot, a pattern of repetitive suffering, or a frayed section representing a choice that would diminish your light. Perhaps it is veering into a dark, colorless patch of the tapestry that offers no growth. With a skill born of timeless wisdom, the weaver does not cut the thread. Instead, it gently lifts it from its current path on the loom and, in a single fluid motion, reroutes it, placing it back down onto a parallel track just millimeters away. This new position is stronger, more luminous, and integrates more beautifully into the grander design. To the weaver, the motion is singular and instantaneous. But for the thread itself, for you, there is a momentary sensation of being in two places at once. You feel the ghost of the old placement, the faint energetic residue of the path you were just on, while simultaneously feeling the solid reality of the new path beneath you. That flicker, that echo of the weaver's loving intervention, is the feeling of déjà vu. It is the tangible proof that the artist is ensuring your thread contributes its most beautiful color to the masterpiece. Alternatively, consider the metaphor of the cosmic gardener. Your soul is not a single seed that grows into one predetermined plant, but a vast, ancient tree like Yggdrasil, the tree of life. This tree exists in the timeless garden of your own consciousness, and every single branch represents a potential timeline, a life path you could follow. The trunk is your core essence, your soul's origin. Your conscious awareness is like a single drop of sap, flowing through one of these branches at any given time, experiencing that reality. Your higher self is the gardener of this magnificent tree. The gardener walks through the orchard of your potential, tending to your growth with infinite care. It sees a branch that is growing into the deep shadow of another, where it will wither without sunlight. It sees another branch that is weak and unlikely to bear the fruit of wisdom your soul desires to cultivate. With pruning shears crafted from light and compassion, the gardener does not sever the branch from the tree. Instead, it performs a sacred act of grafting. It carefully lifts the life force, your conscious awareness, from the struggling branch and seamlessly grafts it onto a nearby, healthier branch that is already reaching toward the sun. This new branch may look almost identical at first, but it is fundamentally stronger, better positioned, and has a much greater potential for blossoming. The feeling of déjà vu is the moment of the graft. It is the subtle shock to the system, the momentary disorientation as your awareness settles into a new but parallel reality. You might catch the faint scent of the leaves from the branch you just left behind, a memory of a place you were just a quantum second ago. It is the gardener's silent work, ensuring that your life force is always flowing toward the greatest light. Understanding these grand cosmic narratives is not meant to be a purely intellectual exercise. It is an invitation to fundamentally reshape your daily experience of reality. The knowledge that déjà vu is a sacred course correction offers a profound tool for navigating life with greater trust, awareness, and grace. The first and most immediate implication is the transformation of the experience itself. Where you once might have felt a fleeting sense of confusion or dismissed the feeling as a strange anomaly, you can now receive it as a powerful confirmation. The moment a wave of déjà vu washes over you, the invitation is to pause. Instead of shaking it off and moving on, take a deep, conscious breath. In that stillness, you can offer a silent, internal acknowledgement. I see. I understand. Thank you. This simple act of awareness reframes the event from a passive glitch into an active, sacred signpost. It is a moment of communion with your higher self, a recognition of the loving guidance that is perpetually shaping your journey. You are acknowledging the edit, accepting the new timeline, and affirming your trust in the process. This practice cultivates a deeper sense of trust in the unfolding of your life. So much of human anxiety stems from the feeling of being alone, of having to control every outcome and navigate an uncertain world with only our limited perspective. The regular affirmation that a wiser, more expansive part of you is co-piloting your life dissolves this fear. When you truly integrate this knowledge, you begin to relax your white-knuckled grip on the steering wheel. You understand that you don't have to have all the answers, because the cartographer of your soul is always at work. This doesn't lead to passivity, but to inspired action. You act not from a place of desperate striving, but from a place of calm, intuitive flow, knowing that if you veer slightly off course, a gentle nudge is always available. Déjà vu becomes the ultimate reassurance that you can never be truly lost. Furthermore, this awareness encourages you to become a keener observer of your own life. When a moment of déjà vu strikes, pay close attention to the context. What were you thinking, feeling, saying, or doing in that exact instant? Who were you with? What decision were you contemplating? The circumstances surrounding the event are often a direct commentary on the nature of the timeline edit. If you were doubting a recent positive life change and suddenly experience déjà vu, it can be seen as your higher self affirming your new path, stamping it with a seal of cosmic approval. If you were in the middle of a negative thought loop or an unhealthy interaction, the déjà vu could signify a shift away from a timeline where that negativity would have spiraled. It becomes a form of celestial feedback, a clue from your soul about what is in your highest alignment. You learn to read the subtle language of reality, using these moments as energetic checkpoints that provide clarity and direction. Life ceases to be a series of random events and becomes a rich, symbolic dialogue between you and the universe, a universe that is a living extension of your own consciousness. We began this journey with a simple, fleeting sensation, the uncanny feeling of having already seen. We have traveled from that initial flicker of curiosity into the very architecture of reality, reimagining time as a vast landscape, the self as a multidimensional being, and life not as a fixed script, but as a divinely edited masterpiece in constant creation. We have seen through the eyes of the celestial weaver and the cosmic gardener, understanding that what feels like a glitch in our perception is, in fact, a signature of grace, an act of profound love from the deepest part of our own being. And we have brought this cosmic understanding back to Earth, grounding it in the practical art of living with more trust, awareness, and intentionality. The journey reveals that déjà vu is far more than a curiosity. It is a keyhole through which we can glimpse the magnificent, fluid, and responsive nature of existence. To recognize the hand of your higher self in these moments is to participate in your own awakening. It is a conscious step away from the old paradigm of a random, mechanistic universe and into a new understanding of a living, intelligent, and collaborative cosmos. You begin to realize that you are not a victim of circumstance, but a co-creator, engaged in an intricate and beautiful dance with your own soul. The timeline edits are not happening to you. They are happening for you and through you. This realization shifts everything. It imbues your life with a sense of magic and meaning, transforming the mundane into the sacred. The world is no longer a collection of inert objects, but a vibrant field of energy and information, constantly communicating with you. Therefore, the ultimate invitation is a call to presence. Walk through your world with the eyes of one who is looking for the seams in reality, not out of suspicion, but out of wonder. Greet each moment of déjà vu not with confusion, but with a smile of recognition, as if receiving a secret, loving note from an old friend. Let these experiences be your anchor, reminders that you are infinitely more vast and powerful than your daily worries would have you believe. You are a timeless being of light, navigating a beautiful, malleable dream. The glitches are not flaws in the system. They are features designed to wake you up from within it. Do not wait for the next wave of déjà vu to feel this connection. Know that the editor is always present, the guidance is always available, and the path is always being cleared. Your only task is to walk it with an open heart and an attentive spirit, trusting that every step, every breath, and every choice is part of a divine composition. You are the music, the composer, and the symphony all at once. The next time you feel that familiar, ghostly echo of a moment already lived, you will know the truth. You are simply feeling the loving touch of your own soul, confirming that you are, and have always been, right on time.